What's going on, everyone? Just got home from a show. Pallbearer, Knoll, and Ordh. Might not be pronouncing that way, and I spelled it wrong last time. Ordh, no T. This was for the Pallbearer, the Foundations of Burden tour, where they're doing that album in its entirety. Even though they were the headliners, I'm going to do tonight's review a little bit different because I left early. And why did I leave early? Well, one, long, kind of shady drive home. But two, Pallbearer doesn't do a ton for me. And tonight, like, you just could not hear their vocals. Even in the back of the house, it was like really hard to hear, which is really weird considering the set before the vocals were just outstanding. So this was at the Stone Church in Brattleboro, Vermont. And usually, like any venue, you know where you stand has some implication of the quality of the audio. But I don't know what was off with Pallbearer's set. They were very loud, which is normally fine, but it didn't help this. So, so Ordh is a new group, but it's made up of members of other groups. So I don't know if it's considered a super group. I think it's made up of Barishi, Come to Grief, and Keef Catcher. I'm not familiar with those bands. But they're death metal. Some of the descriptions said proggy. I mean, maybe a little. Some interesting technical things. Anyway, some really like gravelly, gritty vocals. Which, if you listen to the album and if you listen to them live, I don't know that they pair up super well, but they work in a really curious way somehow. So this was their first show as Ordh tonight, and man, you would have thought that they were the headliners. The crowd was just blown away. The playing was great. They were long songs. I think they played like 4 songs total. There were the long songs, but yeah, man, it was great. They didn't have a lot of room to move, but it seemed like they would have had good energy. So some really good death metal, really like gravelly, kind of almost primal vocals. Maybe almost even too like. I feel like they probably would have had more of a pick going if the crowd, because it was a bit of a split genre. So anyway, all that to say, Ordh did great. I would definitely look forward to seeing them. I believe they're local to Brattleboro, Vermont. But regardless, they did great. So if you get a chance to see them. Their first album comes out in 4 days, April 17th, I think he said. So it was a great start to the night. Now, instead of talking about Knoll, I'm going to talk about Pallbearer because, again, I left early. And it's weird. I like Doom. I like stonery type stuff. I like all this. It just, there's something with them. It just doesn't work for me. And like not being able to hear the vocals, it almost made it feel like an instrumental, which it's fine, but it just wasn't going to keep me there. So nothing against the guys. I know they're well loved. The show was almost sold out tonight. Last time I saw them, the show was almost sold out at a larger venue. So I know that they have chops, and I know that people like them. And from what I could see, the crowd was pretty content with what was going on. So I believe that they delivered a great set. And I hope that they continue their success, just to be clear. But by far the stars tonight were Knoll. I mean, this was fourth time I've seen them. Another case of a lot of people there didn't know who they were. Or hadn't seen them before, and they it's great because you can see that they're not expecting what's going to happen. So the band, I mean, it's like black metal, it's avant-garde, it's grindcore, and it's like Nosferatu, his head is the vocals for the band, because Jamie is really going like shaved everything, long nails, kind of these like grotesque movements and stuff. And this was the best I've ever heard them sound. They dialed in Jamie's vocals so like he could hear himself really well, which he commented on, and I mean the difference was like next level. So to me, I'm gonna say like right now in those kinds of genre crosshairs, Knoll's probably one of like I'll say one of the most important bands in that I feel like they are kind of breaking through some ice here, and they're going into areas where not a lot of other people go, areas that are a little bit tougher to do successfully. Their albums are great, but seeing them live is just the right. They use light really well, right? They have some flickering lights going on intentionally. All the guys that instrumentally, like they're just killing it live. The drumming is fantastic, and they still use the trumpet, which still sounds amazing, right? This like discordant trumpet type thing, just really really good. And so, and Jamie's like vocals and his odd instrumentations and his presentation is just terrific. And I don't know him personally, but I know when I see fans interact with him, he's super humble and he thanks everybody, which is really cool. You know, it's I feel it's nice to see. Some people don't care. And again, every time I see Knoll, they get better. The audio was dialed in so well tonight that it was just terrific. So I think Knoll is a band that is a must see. I'm looking forward to when they get a little bit bigger, so they can do a little bit more on stage. Maybe there will be a bigger presentation type of thing in the future. Maybe not, but I hope there is, because I think they can do a lot with it in a really impactful way to really bring something else to the music. So really cool show tonight overall. And I got the Knoll full set, which is linked down below, and I'm also putting it in black and white because I feel like it almost should be kind of like an old horror movie, but some footage from the other guys as well. And yeah, just really really good stuff. So I've noticed a few more people have been checking out the reviews. Really appreciate that. Always open to hear about more of what you guys want. Remember, I'm not a technical person, so there won't be a lot of that kind of detail, but otherwise I'm happy to kind of talk more about what people are looking for. So my next show is Weed Eater, Conan Telekinetic Yeti on the 23rd, and Steel Panther on the 25th. That's going to be an interesting, and then April ends with Cryptopsy, Fulci, Necra, and Blood of the Monolith on the 30th. And these are all in Massachusetts, so we've got like Cambridge, Boston area. Oh no, I lied. Steel Panther's in Albany, New York, and then we go back to Worcester, Mass for the Cryptopsy show. So check it out, check out the videos, leave a funny comment, a stupid comment, a mean comment, I don't know. Alright, have a good night.